Welcome to the Harshie podcast. I am flying solo tonight. Brandon is pulled away for children duty. Sometimes we have the best laid out plans, but when you are parents to 6 kids, you get laughed at when you make plans a lot. So you have to learn how to be very, very flexible, shift those expectations. But I am looking forward to talking about cesarean birth more with you tonight. If you listened to our episode yesterday, we talked about cesarean birth and how it can be an empowering, healing birth, how cesarean birth still deserves option, support, and respect. Before I get into the second part of that, I do want to make one announcement, and that is I am going to be in Austin June 6th through June 8th for the Born Into This conference. It is hosted and run by Doula Trainings International, otherwise known as DTI. So they asked me to be on a panel and to be present for that weekend, and I am absolutely honored to accept. So if you are anywhere in the Texas area or you're flying in for this incredible conference, it's a conference that explores social justice, entrepreneurship, technology, creativity, and just really digs deep into the birth world, birth work, birth in general. And there's a lot of, I think, growth and accountability and sharing of wisdom that happens at this conference. And I'm really looking forward to be part of it. So if you want to learn more about that, just go to bornintothis.co. And that again is in June, that conference, and I will be there. All right, so moving forward with Cesarean Birth is Birth, or Cesarean Without Fear from the Birth Without Fear book. This is what I want to share with you tonight. This is why it's good to have a cesarean birth plan from the beginning, no matter what your ideal birth experience may be. Whether it's a discussion in labor or leading up to labor, it's wonderful to be able to say to your care provider, "We talked about this before, let's go over that again." Or, "This is what we said we wanted, is this what we still want? It's been a while since we talked about it." If you end up in an emergency C-section situation, birth plans more often than not go out the window. But if you have a cesarean birth plan in place, little things can be remembered. You, your birth team, and your care provider will do what all of you can to maintain parts of that plan, and it can take some of the shock out of it. So it's okay to plan for cesarean birth, whether you plan on having one or not. It's a great way to open up discussion, to have that backup plan in place so that if the need arises to have a cesarean birth, you're not feeling completely blindsided. Like you're not all of a sudden like, wait a second, I was on track A and now I'm on track Z and I don't know how to get from A to Z. You will have already discussed these things out. And even if preferences for a cesarean birth changes, you've already had that discussion and you can take a little bit further and a little bit deeper. So that's of course, the ideal. That's what we want. I know a lot of you listening have not had that. I've had cesarean birth experiences where I didn't have that either, but this is why we started Birth Without Fear and we are having all these discussions and there's so many voices talking about this. And I wrote this book because we do want that conversation to change and we do want the preparation for that to change. And I'm going to repeat that it's not just a matter of how your baby comes earthside, but how we're treated through that process. And that goes for cesarean birth as well. So write that cesarean birth plan, preferences, philosophy, whether you think you're going to have a cesarean or not, and discuss that with your birth team. And in the book, we do have cesarean birth plan template to help you start talking with your provider. Another section that's really cool in this chapter is the self-care with cesarean birth and the partner point of view. So if you want to check that out, go to birthwithoutfearblog.com, click on one of the buttons, pre-order the book. It comes out March 5th. All right, you guys, until next time, love ya.